Good morning, children. Saira, welcome to this session. Today we are going to see the third part of the lesson Intergalactic Idol. We have started with the lesson number 14 and we have finished two parts of it. Hope you understood the lesson till now. Now let us continue. Before that, let us see the name of the author. Yes, Samit Basu. Samit Basu is the author. Now we will see the lesson. We will revise the lesson. We all know it is about a small boy called Elvis. He was doing his what homework? Maths homework, isn't it? In his house. Suddenly he heard a huge ear-splitting crash. What was it? There was a spaceship, okay, alien spaceship in his garden. Okay, he came out of the garden. He found the alien. How was the alien looking? It was looking like a bird pelican. It had two beaks and tentacles instead of wings, and the legs were like springs. Okay, and it was talking something he could not even understand. Okay, but later he understood what it was telling. What was his name? The alien's name was Noose Band Manager V2.6, isn't it? And it belonged to another planet, not a planet Earth. It belonged to the planet Arc Staro 2. Okay, in that planet there was an intergalactic idol going to take place, and he wanted to take somebody from Earth. Actually, he wanted to take a singer from our Earth because they had won the previous year also with our planet, with the person from our planet. So this alien wanted to find the king and take him with him, but because this Gigonium tank started leaking and he did not have enough fuel to get it repaired, he came down, and whomever he found whom? Elvis. He wanted to take him for the intergalactic idol. It is a music contest which is taking place where? In the planet Arc Staro 2. Okay, but Elvis, what did he do? He took his maths homework notebook also, and he got into the spaceship, isn't it? And there they went through the wormhole. Wormhole means it is a shortcut to reach the one part of the universe to the other part. And the content that it was held in a beautiful, big, magnificent, efficient amphitheater. Okay, big, huge amphitheater. And there were how many contestants? 5 contestants. And 3 judges were sitting to judge this music contest. Okay, the first contestant was a sound assassin. Okay, what did he do? He was from the planet Homisonic. What did he do? When he sang the song, 2 of the fellow contestants became headless. Okay, you can see the picture. And luckily, what did this Elvis was sitting down to tie his shoelace. That time, you can see the legs of the 2 other contestants. They became headless because he was a sound assassin. He was due to his sound, 2 of his contestants became headless. And the 5th contestant was there. She was a lady girl, and she was busy. You can see that in the picture. She was busy signing the autograph. She had 3 heads. We will read that and we will come to know. Okay. So all the person were from other planets. So they were, some were things and some were other. They were not looking like human being, and their tastes were also different. And this Elvis was not able to sing at all, isn't it? He was a very poor singer. He could not sing, but at last he sang the song. He sang the song called Heartbreak Hotel. Okay, and he sang finally, and many people, all of them appreciated. Now we will read the story. We will continue the story. Okay, after this, let us read the next part of the lesson. Okay, unfortunately, she was only about 2 million times better than me music wise. Who was better? She, the last contestant who was signing the autograph. She, the 5th contestant. Okay, she was better than him. How many times? 2 million times. She had 3 heads, all singing different tunes and singing them strangely well, not to mention arms like drumstick, See, he's telling over their arms it was like drumstick which beat lovely rhythms on the thin skin of her wings, and antennae that played one another like a harp. So he's telling she sang how 2 million times better than him. Music wise, it was better. And how many heads she had, that lark contestant? She had 3 heads, all singing in different tunes. So, 3 mouths she will have. 3 heads means 3 mouths. So, all the 3 heads were singing 3 different tunes, and thus it was very strangely well, he's telling. Not to mention, he's telling the arms were like drumsticks and which beat lovely rhythms on the thin skin of her wings. She had wings also. You saw in that picture, isn't it? An antennae that played one another like a harp. So he's describing that contestant. Okay. Now, and while she sang, the entire amphitheater shut up and listened because she had something for everyone. She sang across frequencies, across taste, across space. Because she sang so well, the full amphitheater became quiet and they listened because she sang very well. He's explaining across frequencies, across taste, across space. That means very, very well she sang. Okay. Anyway, she won. I came second. Who won? That girl with that female one which has got 3 heads, that fifth contestant who sang now, she won, and Elvis came second. I was rigged, I tell you. These contests were always were rigged means dishonestly arranged the result beforehand. That was cheating, is telling. Okay, dishonestly arrange the result beforehand. That means already it was decided that she is going to win. So he's telling always these contests always are. Now I had 2 problems. We will see what was his problem. News was being difficult. It pointed out that my contract hadn't included safe home delivery. When I pointed out that, that was first one, there was no contract and I had helped it out of a very sticky situation. And okay, I'll explain this and go to that. See who won now? Yes, she, the fifth contestant, she won the contest, and he was telling it was a cheating. Okay, and now after this intergalactic idol was over, news was being, he did not tell that he will leave Elvis back home safely. Okay, there was no contract signed that after this idol, Indian intergalactic idol is over, he will drop him back home. How can he come home from the other galaxy? It was very difficult. Unless news comes and leaves him, he will not be able to come home, isn't it? So he's telling there was no contract and I helped it out of a very sticky situation, and that I had no desire to work on my singing. So he's saying I'm not at all interested in singing. Okay, I don't want to sing at all. No, shrugged and wagged his tentacles at me in an aggressive sort of way. Aggressive means ready to or likely to fight or argue. He was ready to fight. He wanted to go back home, isn't it? He was a small boy who was doing his homework, but because of this alien, he had come to another planet for the music contest. Now he wanted to go home, and news was not ready to bring him back. Okay. Then the second problem was a little stickier. It turns out that the daughter of Uba Loop of Stimplepock, the most powerful mafia don in the eastern part of our galaxy, was in love with me. This is another problem. Okay. What was that? One daughter of Uba Loop of Stimplepock. Okay. She was the most powerful mafia don. Don's daughter was in love with this Elvis. Okay, see this all? It is a funny story. Okay, so the daughter of whom? It is a mafia don, Uba Loop of Stimplepock. That was another galaxy from there. Eastern part of our galaxy, eastern part of our galaxy, was in love with Elvis. Apparently, my soulful rendition of Heartbreak Hotel had melted her heart, which must have been pretty melty in the first place because she was basically this giant slug. Okay, so he's telling apparently my soul rendition of rendition means performance. So soulful, he sang it in soulful way, very emotionally. Okay, full of emotions. His my soulful rendition of Heartbreak Hotel had melted her because she loved that song so much, which must have been pretty melty in the first place. Because of that song it was attractive, because she was basically this giant slug, which she was a basically a lazy giant slug. Slug means a lazy person. Okay, now also I had, she claimed, looked in her direction throughout my performance, which according to ancient simple pop tradition meant that we were married. According to that simple pop tradition, if somebody looks throughout while singing, performance is going on, if they see throughout fully without closing the eyes, if they see them, it is meaning that they are married. So I'll read this again. So I had, she claimed, looked in her direction throughout my performance. She was looking at him throughout his performance, which according to ancient Stimple pop tradition meant that we were married already. She is thinking that they were married because she was seeing him throughout his performance. Okay, see all the hard words, I have marked it and I have written the hard meaning of it. You can see here. How did I get out of this situation? He did not like to be there. He wanted, because if he's married and he has to remain there, isn't it? So he want to come home. So how to get out of the situation? How did I get out of the situation? Well, it involved a thimble, a lot of salt, a certain amount of groveling, a lot of blackmail, and a very difficult 2 days hidden inside a crate full of poisonous lobsters. He's telling how difficultly he came out from that situation. He's telling he's exaggerating things. He's involving a lot of thimble means, a thimble means it's a lining or for an opening through which a stovepipe or chimney passes. It's a narrow pathway. A lot of salt, a certain amount of groveling. Groveling means tributes given to earn personal benefits. It is a lot of blackmail. So he was blackmailing. He had a lot of blackmail. So much he was persuading John Noose to bring him back home, and a very too difficult hidden. He was hidden inside a crate full of poisonous lobsters. He was hiding himself. Crate means a large box in which goods are carried or stored. Inside a big box full of lobsters, he was hiding, and he wanted to get out of this situation. Okay. So how did I get out of this situation? Well, it involved a thimble, a lot of salt, a certain amount of groveling, a lot of blackmail, and a very difficult 2 days inside, hidden inside a crate full of poisonous lobsters. He is telling his difficulties, how what all he had to face to get out of that situation. Okay. Oh, so let's just say I managed to escape the clutches of Uba Loop and his henchmen and persuade Noose to bring me back home. And everything looked all right again. We had many adventures on the way back, which I won't go into, of course. Okay, so after so much of after the so what he's telling, he managed to escape from the clutches of this person Uba Loop, because his daughter, they were thinking that to get married to this Elvis, his daughter, isn't it? So he and his henchmen means bodyguard. Somehow he managed to escape from from the clutches of Uba Loop and his bodyguard, and he persuaded Nose to bring him back home, and everything looked all right again. So we had many adventures on the way back. So through the same wormhole they all came back. So many adventures they had on the way back, which I won't go into, of course. Again, I don't want to tell all the adventures, he's telling. Okay, but I did get one thing which made me very happy. Thanks to the brilliance of wormhole travel technology, I would be restored to earth at around about the same day I left it. Yesterday, because of the wormhole travel technology, the same day I could be back. After this, in the intergalactic idol contest, everything is over. Same day he could reach back, he could come back to earth at around the same time I left it. So it wouldn't lose any time at school at all. I've not lost even a single day. So within few minutes he came back, which was the best news possible for a dedicated student. He did not want to miss his school yesterday because of the wormhole travel technology. He came back to earth at around the same time he left it. Okay, so he did not lose school at all. This was the best news for the dedicated student yesterday. Okay, and then things suddenly went wrong again. While we were passing Ganymede, the evil warlord Jiggybox ambushed us again. We managed to escape almost completely unscathed, but there was a little leak in the Jingonium tank, which meant there was a few hours of off schedule. Actually, he could have come back at the same moment he left. Okay, because of that wormhole travel technology. Because and suddenly there was a same way there was a they ambushed the jiggy box ambushed them again, and because of that few hours there was a leakage in this zirconium tank. Unscathed means not hurt, without any injury they came back. But a few hours of schedule they took a little delay of few hours. Okay, news did drop me home, but today morning, not yesterday evening. Actually yesterday evening they had to be home, but he left him when the next day morning, and I just had time to change into my school uniform, eat breakfast, and come straight to school. Also, a laser blast left a tiny hole in the outer membrane of the ship. Silly. So he left him not yesterday evening. Yesterday evening he went to the intergalactic idol contest, but due to all these problems in between, he came the next day morning. He had just enough time to change his uniform and eat his breakfast, and he came straight to school. And again he's telling also a laser blast left a tiny hole in the outer membrane of the ship. He's telling there was a small hole in the outer membrane of the ship. Since I didn't want to be sucked out into the great vacuum of space, I stuffed the nearest available object into the hole. He's telling there was a big hole inside the spaceship. I did not want to get sucked out of the vacuum. Okay, because of that. So what did he do? Whatever available object he had, he closed the hole. He stuffed the hole with the object he found in his hand. And what was that object? Unfortunately, this turned out upon examination to be my maths notebook. Again he is coming back. So what did he have in his hand? He had his maths notebook, isn't it? So he took his maths notebook and he stuffed into that hole so that he does not get sucked out due to vacuum. Okay, and that Mrs. Gupta is why I don't have my maths homework with me today. So this story fully he's telling. Mrs. asking him, why didn't you bring your maths homework? So this story was told by him to Mrs. Gupta, his maths teacher. He's imagining the story of so much, and he's telling an alien came, took him to the intergalactic idol, and there were so many contestants, how he went, all this, and while returning he stuffed his maths homework book into the hole, and he came directly to school, and that's why he did not have his maths homework book with him. See the nice imagination, children. See how the maths teacher is surprised by his story. This was his imagination. Okay, when Miss asked why he did not bring his maths homework, this was the story told by him. Hope you all enjoyed the last part of it, children. Yes, we will revise the story in the next part again. Hope you all understood the story. It is just a beautiful imagination of this small boy, Elvis. Hope you all understood, children. Okay, we will see in the next presentation. Thank you, children. Sai Ram.